Hey guys, and welcome back to my channel. I'm Anna and I'm so glad that you're here. Today I have my February 2021 plan with me. Again, if you haven't seen my original bujo setup video, I will leave that in the description box below. But to give you a quick overview, I am bullet journaling for the first time ever. And for me, the important thing with a planner, because I am a mother of a young child and I have a lot of different tasks that I manage throughout the day, I need something that is minimal, is functional, but is also pretty and makes me happy. So that is what I'm focusing on in this particular spread. Now, my January setup, I really enjoyed it because it was already done. I just was able to pop in every day the entire month without needing to worry about decorating or adding boxes or anything like that. So I enjoyed the fact that I already had the whole month set up in one go. And I also enjoyed the fact that the layout I chose for the first 3 weeks worked. So for February, I kind of just wanted to continue that. I had about 2 hours to sit down and work on my entire month of February. And I think that that's okay to spend one day, about an hour to hour and a half, for the rest of the month. You know what I mean? So to me, it was something that I enjoyed. It was actually a nice little sit back, relax exercise, while also knowing exactly what I wanted and being able to quickly get those tasks that aren't necessarily so fun quickly out of the way so that I could just use my planner the rest of the month. So it's not too exciting in terms of new spreads and that kind of thing, but that's not my focus. So I thought I'd show you my cover page for February and just some of the little easy, quick ways I used to bring a little bit of sophistication, pretty color and stuff like that makes me happy into my weekly spreads, while also just focusing on functionality and simplicity. So I hope that you guys enjoy this video. Be sure to like this video and subscribe for future videos, and I will see you guys next time. Let's jump into this spread. So if you're following along today, let's go ahead and grab our supplies and set the tone and get to planning. So I always like to play music and light a candle and make sure that I have all of my supplies handy. As I mentioned before, I really enjoyed the January setup that I had, and because at the time that I was setting up my February monthly spreads, I had the last week of January left. So I did enjoy that last spread I had for January, but because I wanted to just simply get this ready for use, I went ahead with the setup that I already knew worked. So that's what I will be working on today. Now, because February is a relatively low-key month for myself and my family, I decided to actually make the art the focus rather than the calendar, because I wasn't going to need it as much. I just simply needed to refer to dates. So in order to do that, I looked at my color palette from Tombow and decided to go ahead and use my marker in 817 Mauve to create a watercolor heart for the month of February. I didn't want to try to come up with something super unique this time. Again, most of this is simply just to make it nice enough that while I'm using it, I enjoy it, but I'm not setting out to be super creative in my bullet journal. I'm mostly focusing on using it for functionality. So all I did was scratch a bit of that marker onto a ceramic plate, which I got at Walmart. In case you don't have a ceramic palette, this one works really well. And then used a paintbrush with water to pick up that color. I tried to use very little water because this is not a bullet journal setup for watercolor, but I feel like it held up pretty well as long as I kept my water minimal. Once I did that, I blocked in my calendar with a pencil to make sure that I got everything correct, and then went over it in a micron. I did really find it helpful to use a clip to hold down that paper flat so that it wouldn't dry crinkled, and that worked really well. Then I took my Tombow Fudenosuke hard tip in black and I just lettered February really simply. And then I decided to add a floral design to my cover page. And this is what took the longest because it's just time consuming. So if you are looking for a really quick way to do this, I would say skip the flowers and just draw leaves, and that's a really quick and easy way to get a similar look. But what I did was I drew in my larger flowers first, and then I filled in all of the gaps around it. Also, to keep things very simple, I just drew leaves in botanical shapes all around that border of the heart to create that heart shape. Once I had already done that and planned all of that in, I just drew it in with my micron pen and then filled in any gaps with berries and other botanical leaves and small flowers. I felt that this had a really nice end product and I really enjoyed the overall look of it. Even though some things might be imperfect, overall the look is nice and I enjoyed it. And I did get practice, which is part of the purpose of this. Then I took a smaller micron and just added some really simple shading in some places just to add a little bit of dimension. I erased all of my pencil marks once everything was dry. Then I took that Fudenosuke and added just a few little simple hearts in any spaces that I felt were still empty. Now, if you have seen my January setup, you'll recognize this weekly spread as being the one that I used predominantly throughout the month, and I found that it worked because it did allow me to be very curated in what I chose to put into my bullet journal. So, because I tend to be someone who is an achiever and I like to write long things that I plan to accomplish throughout the day, it's not always realistic. So having a small space really makes me curate those to-do lists and focus on what I really can get done for that day. It also gives me enough space to put in those habit trackers, which gives me a lot of information at the end of the week because I can easily glance over that and see where I need to step it up and what I succeeded in accomplishing. One thing I will give a tip as to using a spread this simple is to make sure that you're using a fine liner that's very thin because your writing can be very small and it just makes things really efficient. Going along with that February love theme and heart, I just decided to use those light Tombows that I had already put in my color palette to create a heart background for the dates of the day, and I found that that worked really well, and I continued to use the system that I had done before, which was to use a gold gel pen to write in the numbered dates and then my fine liner to go over with the actual days of the week. Because that first week is the one that you see with the cover page, I like to make sure that I have a little bit of decor in that upper border. And again, this just helps to tie in everything. So once again, I used those 3 different Tombow pinks to create a watercolor heart border at the top of that weekly spread, and I really liked how this looked. I didn't get much variation in tone because once you water down these Tombows, they just all tend to look light, but I did get some variation. And then while that was drying, I went ahead and wrote in my dates. And then, just to make everything tie in a little bit better, I added a very simple outline first with my gold gel pen and then with my black fine liner. Like I mentioned before, for efficiency's sake, I went ahead and kept the same layout system for the entire month of February this time. And I also brought in the 1 line a day from the previous month because I really enjoyed that little bit of mini journaling in order to kind of reflect back on my day in a very quick and easy way. So I went ahead and drew in all of my lines. I decided that this would be a really quick and efficient way to work. And I found that it worked really well to just do everything all at the same time in their particular order. So I drew all of my lines in, and then I drew in all of my heart backgrounds, drew in all of my habit trackers, and so on and so on. And I found that this worked really well to give everything a chance to set while I worked on the next step. In case you're wondering, I am using that Tombow Fudenosuke hard tip once again just to quickly letter the header for my one line a day page. I find that this is one of my favorite small lettering brushes, and it makes it really quick and easy to add those headers without having to do all of that faux calligraphy. Now, one thing I really enjoyed this month was adding in a bit more of my paper crafting. And so I grabbed some coordinating washi tapes. Most of these are from Hobby Lobby actually. And I just added some borders and headers to add a really quick decorative touch to my pages. Those particular stickers you saw on the other weekly spread are from the Happy Planner. And these stickers that I added with sentiments and shapes are also from the Hobby Lobby sticker section, and they're very affordable, really nice quality stickers. And I just used some craft paper that I ripped up to add some nice coordinating backgrounds. So there you have my entire February setup. It took me less than 2 hours to do everything, and that was mostly because I was interrupted several times. And I really enjoy the overall look and especially the functionality of this planner. And I have been really enjoying using it on a day-to-day basis. So let me know if you are doing a similar February setup. How did you incorporate the month of love into your bullet journal this month? Let me know. And also any videos that you would like to see from me in the future. Please feel free to subscribe and like this video. That helps me out quite a bit, and I will see you guys next time. Bye!